All right, folks, welcome back. My name is Beta. You're watching Timmy, and as we look for Alpha and try to act like we're smart and we want to be part of the cool kids and accepted and sponsored, and we all want to do something in this world and make our mark. Sit back and relax. Today, we're going to have a conversation on alternative card games, not Magic and Pokemon. So, today, we're not going to discuss the card games that still exist. The Magic, the Pokemon, the Yu-Gi-Oh!, the One Piece, the Flesh and Blood, the Weiss, the Disney Lorcana, the Sorcery. And of course, today's conversation is about startup card games, failed card games, and of course, my patron over here, Joel, says, Rudy, crack me some of your old family Metazoo packs. I'll buy some packs from you. Let's talk about it. Give me some of the infamous Rudy custom art. The infamous last product ever produced by the original Metazoo company before they just imploded and said peace out. So, as we crack some of these little Metazoo throwback things, I think one day I'm actually going to break even on these bad boys. So if I keep doing this once or twice a year, I think in 28 more years, I will get the, I don't remember what I paid for all of it. It was I think it was $30,000. I think in 27 more years, I'll actually break even on my custom family art package, which is okay, because it's still symbolic to me. So, right now, the reason I thought this would be a great time to do this kind of stuff is we have HoloLive, not the Weiss set, HoloLive, the card game. We have Gundam, we have Godzilla. We've got Riftbound. I mean, there are so many new card games, and these are just larger ones. Now, smaller ones and everything, it gets even crazier, everybody. By the way, pack 1, we have the infamous green crayon drawn by my, at the time, 7-year-old. So, yeah, so a long time ago, when Metazoo was doing this stuff, and there was a lot of turbulence with the company. To this day, I've always wondered what some of the behind-the-scene things that happened were. I've always wondered, what point in time did they know that they were going to have to just go down in like a blaze of glory? What was the actual time point? Because from what I'm gathering from a lot of LGSs, distributors, content creators, they were still doing, remember, they were taking deposits and things for future products and new sets. So did they intentionally know? They were trying to get capital, like a Ponzi scheme, to get money to pay for the previous money owed? Makes you, really? Green crayon, back to back, 2 in a row. I always wonder that kind of thing, that's always the thing that always makes me think. But besides focusing on things I don't have answers to, a lot of you guys, before we talk about some of these new startup card games, let's also talk about Metazoo 2.0. Meta 2? So, a lot of people working on that, and artists and people who bought the company involved, these people obviously are very passionate about what they're doing, and many people have approached me, I would say at least, hey, Red Crayon. Many people have approached me from that company, artists, ambassadors, content creators. I've been asked probably at least once a week, maybe the whole year. I get asked all the time. It's probably once a week from either fans, content creators, artists, or people at the new Metazoo ownership have asked me if I would be involved with it, ask about it, do box openings, discuss it. And really, it has nothing, the problem with that whole thing is it has nothing to do with anything that the new people are doing, because I really have no knowledge of internal stuff. But what I do know is the name alone, from what I went through with the previous version, is so scarred with me. I don't think I have the ability to ever really go back and try to carry new versions or anything. I mean, even the patrons know right now. We do a quarterly. Well, there's not many left at this point. Actually, most of my Metazoo stuff is gone now. I think I have enough to do a couple small ones still, but every 3 months, quarterly, I actually run a Metazoo clearance tax loss sale. Okay? And, hey! We got the main last Rudy, world famous, the rarest one, the Rudy the Crayon Eater, the dumb retarded Rudy. Remember, folks, in case you weren't aware, It is extended art. We designed it where the crayon eater, the red crayon goes through the card, and the green crayon sticks out of my head. It actually goes up. I don't know if you guys remember the history of this. Hey, that's actually, well, congratulations, Joel. Sometimes we do these pack openings and we don't even, sometimes we get 1 or 0. That's always like, whew, at least we got that out of the way. So a lot of people have asked me about it. It's just, the public will never believe and never be willing to have an open conversation. And the public believes that I was part of the manipulation of Metazoo's downfall. And the public believes that, Metazoo's implosion, I knew it was coming. I had, advanced knowledge, way in advance. I knew certain things. And none of that was really true. I actually found out when a bunch of patrons messaged me because there was a letter from Mike dropped on the internet, and a bunch of patrons started blowing me up, and I didn't know what was going on. I was actually outside working, actually behind the shopping center in a dumpster, throwing a bunch of garbage away from a pallet. And I remember looking at my phone going, what's going on? So, to this day, the issue with Metazoo is there is always going to be a certain degree and a certain volume of people in the world that believe Metazoo failed, or I was the reason it failed. People still blame me. That's really all about, hey, the blue crayon. That's the only one we haven't gotten. So wow, really? So Joel, literally 1, 2, 3. We are 5 out of 12 in, and you actually have the whole series. That is actually pretty unusual. The times we did this a year ago and 2 years ago, I don't think we ever were able to pull that off. So that's really cool. So that's my issue. The number one thing that worries me of ever carrying the new Metazoo set, even if the game does really well, I've heard mixed reactions right now. I heard a lot of people love the new Metazoo 2 or Meta 2, whatever it's called. I've heard a lot of people are passionate about it. I've heard a lot of people have passion, but they're frustrated with whatever the company's doing regarding either running the game, the power level, the print runs, promotion, whatever everybody's opinion is. I'm not involved. I have no idea. I don't have skin in the game with the new Metazoo company. But because of the past with me and the history, again, people still, I would be willing to bet there is still easily between a quarter, 25 to 50% of the general public from years ago believed, or still believe, that the implosion of Metazoo is kind of, that's the Rudy thing. So because of that, that's one of the reasons that I just don't want anything to do with it. I don't want, oh my God, really? A second crayon eater back to back. That's really, wow. Joel, this is probably your luckiest opening one. Wow. You could probably, these are actually still pretty expensive. If you actually go on eBay and type in the Rudy crayon Metazoo or anything, they're actually pretty expensive for a set of these. Wow. Okay, you're doing really well. So that's my personal gripe with everything, is everybody has assumptions about what happened with the first version, the collapse. And no matter what is discussed, no matter how many times I talk about it, it's just, there's no benefit. There's no reason. It doesn't do anything. Everybody's made up their minds. No one's going to change anything. I'm not here to try to persuade people. I don't care. If people want to believe things happen, then let them believe that. And I don't think that's ever going to be shaken. And that was always my concern when I heard that a new company was going to buy Metazoo. I was like, how is this new company going to overcome the name, the toxic name of what happened and what that name is associated with based on how it ended? That's the thing that, like, how do you overcome that? How do you fix that? How do you change the public's thing? Like, even now, if you go on TCG Player, you type in Metazoo, you can't even differentiate between the old Metazoo and the new Metazoo on TCG Player. Like, it's very difficult to even search or try to get actually, I don't even know if the new set, didn't they make an expansion set? I don't even know if it's listed on there. It's just it's just not set up very well. Blue crayon. So we are at 2 green, 2 blue, 2 Rudies, and 1, wow, congrats, Joel. It's probably the best version we've had. So let's pause on the Metazoo sadness from the past. Obviously, if you're a patron, once a quarter, every 3 months, and actually the next one's coming up for Halloween, I always run a infamous, it's literally the name of the sale to patrons, is the failed Metazoo tax loss sale. So every 3 months, about a quarter a year, we run a Metazoo sale on my old dead inventory, and we sell it. Well, we call it, if we sell it as a tax loss, because there's no profit for me. It's a loss in each one, and it gives me space. And honestly, a lot of you all buy it, and a lot of people enjoy it. A lot of because it's so cheap. It'll be something. We'll do crazy stuff. I think the last Metazoo sale we did, I don't remember if it was Seance or Wilderness. The last Metazoo sale we did was like, I think, $89. And you get multiple booster boxes, multiple spell books, multiple theme decks, multiple release decks, multiple blister packs. I mean, you get like 12 items, and it's like $89. So again, there's, my cost on that was, I think, $150 to $180. Because I remember the prices we would sell them for, the goal would always be to try to sell for $2.99 or $3.99. So after shipping and fees, there'd be like a 40% margin. Well, so now, obviously, selling $89 kits, and your cost is like $150 to $200. Well, and then you pay shipping, then you pay fees, and it's fun, right? But it's a good tax loss thing, especially for the end of the year. So if you are a fan of Metazoo, I believe we have our last one coming up of the year for patrons. It's going to be, I think it's going to be Nightfall. I think I have enough for a small amount of Nightfall kits. I think I have 100 boxes of Nightfall and 100 spell books. I'm going to try to make a little Nightfall kit for Halloween and everything. So we'll make a little kit, whatever the price is on that. Maybe I'll try to rip you guys off and charge a little extra. And some people want to buy it and open it for the holidays, have fun. That's great. Do I think long term is going to go to zero kind of thing? Probably not. Because as you all know, even failed card games, they don't really go to zero. It's kind of an internet meme. And actually, look at Metazoo Native. Still ridiculously expensive. All-time high prices. Incredibly difficult to get online. Some of the items in certain theme decks, I think there's one or two of the theme decks that are, I think it's like 50. Is it like $50 for a theme deck? It's one of the theme decks. It's like, there's like none listed. I don't even know if I have it. I have to check that. But that brings me to the next level conversation. Now that we got through Rudy's Metazoo rambles of the past. I know, it's crazy. It's been years, right? It's been years, I know. And I know, you guys still message me, Rudy, why didn't you get involved in buying the company? Why didn't you just buy the company out and fix it? I mean, folks, look around. I'm entangled in so many things and busy as it is. And there's many moments that, just like you guys can imagine, there's nights and mornings when it's like, dude, I'm not getting any younger. And, family, son getting older. And you're kind of watching everything and you realize your own mortality and longevity in this world. I would love to live to be 500 years old and see all this stuff in the future. But, if the average, if I can make it to 90 to 100 years old, that's great. That gives me 40, 50, 60 years of runway. But the reality is we don't know what the future holds. The days are long, but the years are short. The months are really short. And every time you blink your eyes, it's another Friday night, right? So for me, I don't have the capability to properly get involved, because whoever's going to run Metazoo, you need to put a lot of time into it. Designing, engineering new cards, building new sets, planning the 1-2 years in advance, working on pretty much relationships, distribution, stores. You have to make sure there's balance and value in the boxes. All this stuff takes tremendous planning to get a product to market and to launch it on time, to execute it. It's incredibly difficult, everybody. And I don't have the time that would be needed to properly do it. I would not do it. No, hiccups. I would not do Metazoo any respect or help by only being available 4 hours a week. It would just crash. It would just dissolve and fall apart. Like even right now, even with Premier Card Grading, the card grading division that we have ownership in. Right now, we got it off the ground from a couple years ago. It's growing. We have daily orders and volume coming through. But now even PCG, we are ready to move to the next level. We are a couple weeks away from expanding and launching the Orlando division and then partnering with all the stores in Orlando. We're in the process of setting up and having giant PCG presence at all conventions and collecticons and events. We want to expand and have huge operations in all the conventions in 2026 because, again, we got the basic foundation done. We've got the basic business. The business is profitable. It's stable. We got a lot of volume coming in. We've tweaked a lot of the bugs. Our turnaround times are good. The feedback is incredibly positive. But, this stuff takes time. That's something that's tough for humans and all of us to accept is, to properly do these things, you have to go slow. Trying to start a business or start a new card game and to try to be able to just make it worth all this money, it's not how it works. This is the same thing I've discussed with you guys on this channel about long-term wealth and money and collecting and investing and being an investor. Everybody, like, we have a culture right now that believes being an investor is like a sexy, fun thing. No, it's not. Being a collector and being an investor is probably the most miserable, painfully slow kind of choice you can make in this world. It's the opposite of having fun and doing anything you want and traveling and spending money. When you have that investor mindset, you completely change and disorient money and enjoyment of everything. You mess it up because every time you go to spend money or travel or do anything, my brain is like, well, I got to close everything here. I'm going to lose a week of business and the videos, and I'm going to lose thousands and thousands of dollars just to do this. And I'm like, well, you kind of have this whole thing. And then if you're a normal investor, you go, well, if I spend $10,000 doing XYZ, yeah, but the thing is, you have to remember, a true investor says, remember, every $10,000 you spend today is equivalent to losing your rule of 72, double your money every 7 years, right? Is equivalent to losing double that in 7 years, right? So rule of 72 is 72 months, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. Wait, is that 6 years? Holy cow, I am retarded. I'm sorry, everybody. Wait, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. Rule of 70, you double every 6 years. Oh, well, I guess if you compound from the previous year, that's what it is. If you don't compound from the previous year, it is 7 years. But if you go from 100 to 110, then compound the 110 versus the original 100 base number, it changes the final output at the end of 6 or 7. Okay, anyways, sorry, I'm rambling. So an investor lives with that misery like me. If I spend $100,000 right now and buy a bunch of healthy ladies and do a bunch of silly stuff and private jets and do that, if I do something like that, that's equivalent to 6 or 7 years from now, I'm out $200,000. So me blowing $100,000 today is the same thing as talking to you guys in 7 years and saying, yeah, I lost $200,000 7 years ago. Because if you look at the time value of money and the way things work and growth and missed opportunity, it gets really complicated, it gets really weird really quick. And that's why I tell you guys, you should not be envious of someone like me. You shouldn't be envious of any investor. You shouldn't be jealous of a day trader. You shouldn't be jealous of a financial anything or an investor. Because again, being an investor, many times, a lot of the stuff, it's just, the internet kind of has this thing that it's like a special, really good thing. And it's really not. What do we got? Oh, green crayon. So we're pretty even on this opening, Joel. And that's something that people don't get unless you've really walked the walk and you've gone on the path for 10, 20 years. And being an investor now, and being on like year 20 of doing this stuff since, I guess, yeah. Well, no, I mean, I really started investing 2006, 2007. So like 18 years in, 20 years, I'm going to give myself extra credit because I feel like I'm a special snowflake. It's nice to have some wealth and resources, but man, it comes at a price, everybody. Let's swing this video back to where it should be. So, we're in 2025 now, the end of 2025. Greatest bull market for Magic and Pokemon. We've been over that. And now because of this bull market, we are seeing behavior difference and behavior change in what's happening. We have all these new card games coming to market, everybody. Red Crayon. We have all these new card games. Right now, the hot thing, Gundam. People are obsessed with Gundam. I couldn't even run a patron sale on Gundam. If you're a patron and you're watching right now, I think I have 3 cases of Gundam set 1. Send me a private message. Whatever TCG player is for, I don't know, how many is in a case? 12, right? Not 6. So whatever price is on TCG player for 12 Gundam boxes, do 12 times TCG player, add it up, and whatever that price is on there, I don't know. We'll take off like $100. And if you want a case of Gundam, I've got a couple cases. Just private message me. I don't have enough to do anything. I don't have enough to run a sale with it. And set 2 is supposed to come for Gundam. And I'm hoping I can get more. But again, if they're like, oh, Rudy, here you go. Here's a couple cases. I can't run a giant patron sale when I have literally like less than 100 boxes. It just, it creates a bad experience for everybody. Everybody gets angry. The 2 people who get it are happy. If the price drops, and it gets weird, and the price goes higher afterwards, and the couple people make money, other people feel it's not worth it. Creates this bizarre dynamic that causes more problems than it does help. So before we go into Riftbound, this is our last Metazoo pack. We are ending the Metazoo pack opening today on our 12th one, and look at that. a third Rudy the Retard Cran Eater. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So conclusion of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Joel, for being a good, nice patron. In this video, you are the first patron ever. In the last couple of years we've done this. Out of 12 packs, you got 3 Rudy Crans. Okay? You've got, wow, 2. Wait, is it 2? I'm sorry. Please hold. 3 red crayons. 4 green crayons. And you ended with 2 blue. That that is probably the best possible thing you could do. You could probably sell those 12 cards, and you can probably double your money, and you still have the fan art packs that a lot of people like to keep these. These also have value. There's actually some chase cards in there worth some money. But congratulations, Joel. Thanks. But to wrap up this video, everybody, next we have Riftbound coming. Okay. I don't know how bad the allocation is, but I'm assuming, like everything else, I'm not going to get enough to do very much. And if I can't even get 100 boxes, I'm not going to be able to run a sale to patrons, and it is what it is. If I only get a case or 2, well, I mean, after it comes out, a couple of you guys can just message me, and I'll try to sell a case, and that's it. Besides that, let's look at Godzilla. Godzilla has a nice card game out. Set 1 of Godzilla had serialized or chase cards or something. Godzilla set 1 did really, really well. And sold out. Can't get any more anywhere. I mean, it did really well. Prices never collapsed or tanked. And they got set 2 coming. And there's already people asking me, when's the set 2 of Godzilla coming, Rudy? So fingers crossed they don't increase the print run and crash it. And they have more creative new things in set 2. And then we have HoloLive. HoloLive just came out. Actually, set 2 of HoloLive, Spectrum, right? No. Radiant? Set 2 of HoloLive just came out. Ran a patron sale on it. Sold my 600, 900 boxes, was it? Or was it 1,000? I don't remember how many's in a case. They're small boxes. Wait a minute. It might have been. It sold a lot. If you guys missed out, if you want a case of the HoloLive, the first expansion on there, send me a private message. I've got about 10, 20 cases put aside for me. And then I got about 3 or 4 cases that got returned to sender due to bad idiots and don't know where they live. Send me a private message. I'll hook you up on the best price on the internet for a couple cases of HoloLive. Because I don't really have enough to run another sale right now. And, yeah, if you guys missed out, if you're a patron, send me a private message. Be like, Rudy, dude, HoloLive, first expansion. I want a full case, cheapest price in the entire market. Send me a message. I'll hook you up. And first come, first serve. I don't have enough to just endlessly do that with everybody. All right. I guess the conclusion of this video, which means we're no longer halfway through, is I want everyone to remember the importance of the market on this. If and or when we have the downturn, these new card games are going to swing crazy. There is a lot of risk. Remember that, folks. These new card games are exciting. They're fun. And there's a bunch more. I mean, I didn't... Oh, Shard Bugs. We just did the Shard Bug sale a couple weeks ago. It was like, it's been... Shard Bug sale was more successful than like a Magic sale I've done in the past. I think it was more successful than my Spider-Man sale. I don't have any. I don't have any of the serialized cards. I don't have any of the boxes. Shard Bug, it's sold out. I don't have any. Now, when they have a future release and everything, we'll do another fun little promotion thing. But you guys loved it. And the feedback of that, of families and kids and you guys opening it, you loved it. You know, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to tell you what's good or bad. I just want to tell you what's going on out there. And just remember, we're in a very strong bull market right now. And in a strong bull market like this, everything tends to do overall pretty good. Okay? But there will be a time when we go back to the negativity, and instead of me just putting fake negative titles on videos, there'll be a time when there'll actually be negative things happening. Like right now, Magic, the biggest thing is, oh, you know, Spider-Man's going to 0. You know, Pokemon, oh, you can't get it. There's a big, you know, Rudy said that there's going to be no growth for 3 months. I guess that's a collapse, I guess. We'll label it as that. You know, that's, but overall, things continue to be very, very positive and strong in the card world. And all these new card games, from Gundam to Riftbound, and, I mean, they're all going to do really well. They're going to do really well. Now, in a couple years from now, we'll see who can stand the test of time. We'll see which card game in 3 to 5 years makes it. Metazoo 2? Meta 2? Are they going to be around in 3 to 5 years making new sets and managing it and growing it, and I missed out? I don't know. Anything can happen. Maybe they do really well, and I go, damn. And honestly, if they do, I'll be really happy for them. You know, I didn't have a part in it, but you know what? If they can just prove everybody and make it work, more power to them. You know, and I think the world should be more positive towards all card games. I think the world, even with Gundam, Riftbound, even Disney Lorcana, which I always rag on, you know, if things are successful, you got to give credit where credit's due when they design and they build and they properly have the discipline to not overprint and destroy their own card game. You know, when that happens, you got to give credit. You know, everybody, I always felt, we're going to be living in the simulation when the day you wake up and everybody's positive towards achievements. People are actually excited to see other people succeed. I think that would be like proof that AI has taken over. We're all in the matrix and we are living a simulation, you know? Because right now, for my entire life experience, for the most part, people thrive on drama and negativity. Everyone picks sides. Everyone's got to hate something. You got to be angry, right? But I feel like there's ever a time that it's like, wow, the new Metazoo company, they're doing really well. Dude, I'm fucking proud of those guys. They pulled it off. Good for them, man. You know, hey, Disney Lorcana, they tanked some of their products. They Amazon dumped some of their stuff. But you know what? They adjusted, they tightened, they made creative cards. And look, they're doing really well. They're bigger and better than they've ever been. You know, that would be... I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm sorry, you in the back. Oh, Star Wars. You want me to talk about Star Wars? Star Wars Unlimited, right? Man, you know, that's great. That, you know, they got their own Carbonite collector boxes. Oh, wait, what? What'd you say? Ever since they've done Star Wars Carbonite collector boxes. Wait, what? The regular booster boxes collapsed? $50, $60? Is that right? That can't be right. I'm getting bamboozled. So the new set of Star Wars, like the Carbonite collector boxes, everybody wants with serialized cards, but then the regular booster boxes are just nobody cares anymore. Sorry to hear that. Now at the same time, if that's true, my only response to that is no shit, Sherlock. No shit. How did you not see that coming? How do you take a new card game like Star Wars Unlimited and make a couple sets? Like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make collector boxes and let everybody chase that. And then all our regular boxes for playing and let's just erode those and make them worthless. And stores can't even. What'd you think was going to happen? Anyways, moving on. So, conclusion, everybody. The new startup card game world continues to be. It's different than it was in COVID and Kickstarter, but we still are seeing a lot of new games come to market, and I expect this to continue. Until we have another downturn, which could be tomorrow morning, next week, next month, next year, or next decade. Who knows? And based on that assumption, just understand, everybody, new card games are a lot of fun, but they can appreciate faster than you can comprehend and skyrocket to the moon, which also means they can collapse faster than you can wake up in the morning and a company just says, you know what, we're going bankrupt. So keep that in mind. You know, the greater the risk, the greater the reward, the greater the potential collapse. So it's got a lot of risk to everything. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today, Joel. Enjoy the Rudy Metazoo fan crayon art stuff. We'll do one more here in a couple weeks, and we'll let it be till next year. And like I said, 27 more years, I'll break even on it. Hope you all have a beautiful day out there. And coming up, like I said, in the next 45 days, we got 2 Pokemon sales for patrons. We got Magic Avatar. We're supposed to have Magic Play Boxes, Tarkir, Foundation, and Final Fantasy finally coming back for patrons. So, hey, fingers crossed, right? I think there's a new One Piece set coming. We got Sorcery Gothic coming for you guys. I got the Metazoo Tax Loss Failure Sale for Nightfall for Halloween. We got a lot of fun things coming. And then, of course, some throwback stuff. We're doing throwback Magic, selling old stuff, Core 21, Zendikar, Call Time. Probably go back Throne of Eldraine, Ikoria. We're going to do older stuff too, have some fun for you guys who want some older Magic too. So, hope you all have a beautiful day out there. As always, we end the video on the most important thing that you need to know about in this world. And that is always one thing. And you already know what it is. It's Rudy's penis.